Well, I have two backgrounds.
Yeah.
One's kind of the corporate me that's done the IT thing, sales and account management. I work in online payments now as an engagement manager, but my passion, what I want to do with my life is help other people through, healing processes, things like the LifeLine technique, because that's soul-fulfilling to me. So I've done a lot of things over the years, studied a lot of stuff, done my inner journey work, and it's led me to get to this point and become a LifeLine certified practitioner.
How has this certification program impacted you?
In massive ways, in huge ways. So when I came across the LifeLine, I was struggling with fear of public speaking. Even though I'd been in a career where that was my day job, in and out, I would still at these times get this massive rush of fear running through my body. I'd get kind of really shaky, my voice would shake in big meetings and presentations. And I did a couple of LifeLine sessions with Jocelyn. Well, actually, firstly, let me take a step back. I saw an advertisement in the Living Now magazine. I hadn't done anything for a while in terms of more study. Had a couple of sessions with Jocelyn. The first session that I did was on a Saturday. On that Monday, one of the head trainers who was out from Europe tapped me on the shoulder about 2 hours before his presentation to about 30 people, said, "Oh, by the way, I want you to come and talk about your remit in the company and your role and what you do." And I was just like, oh my God, how is that for just divine synchronicities? So that was how I came in and discovered the LifeLine.
How did that talk go?
Really well.
Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised, and I was hooked after that point. I was like, I've got to go and learn this.
It's cool. And you started with the boot camp.
I did.
Right. You came in through the LifeLine boot camp, and then you signed up for the full certification.
Yeah.
As a result of, going the journey that you've gone and having a passion for helping people, and, what do you see in the future that you weren't able to see before the LifeLine, but now that you've learned this process, you're able to see for yourself?
It's a good question. A couple of things. I would say probably first and foremost, it's restored my faith in, if you wanted to label it as healing or raising consciousness, it's really restored my faith in it. It's reignited my passion, and I'm able to identify and look back on the past 20 years and say to myself, you know what, everything you did worked, even though there was those times where you went, this is all bullshit, it's not working for me, I'm not getting anywhere, why am I still feeling this way? So it really helped me identify with that. And secondly, it's created a clearer path to living my dreams. Have a thriving LifeLine practice, and also supporting my partner, who's also an alternative therapist, in her business and growing this vision of a health and wellness practice.
Wow. At the time when I met you, I'm a helicopter pilot, and I was flying for Channel 9 News, and I'd met Leanne, who's a certified LifeLine practitioner, in a hair salon, of course, and we got chatting, and there I was sitting in my foils, and then all of a sudden she's running a process on me, and I'm tears pouring down my face. And then she said, well, this is a bit synchronistic, but I'm actually getting my hair done to go and meet Darren for dinner. I'm like, what? He's over here from Chicago, and he's here to stay for a few days, and he's running an introductory talk, and you should come along and listen if you're available. And I said, oh, wow, okay. And she gave me a card and said, if you can come. Anyway, fortunately, the introductory talk was like 5 minutes from where I was working that day at Channel 9, and I walked in, and bam, I sat through the session, and I had the most amazing time, enjoyed it thoroughly. And then Darren said, look, we're doing this course tomorrow, Ignite. We're going to spend a day going through this process, and if you're interested, come along. And so right there and then I picked up the phone and I rang my boss and I said, I'm having the day off tomorrow. And he's like, okay, and that was it. I went to the Ignite, and I remember at the end of Ignite, that first day Ignite, Darren was talking about if anyone was interested in doing further training, and bam, my arm just went straight up, like I didn't even do it, it just went up.
Right.
And I was there, right there, and I was like, bring this on. It was just, for me, the Ignite did ignite me.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you were thinking about going to go and do Ignite, I really, really recommend that you do that, because it's a great introduction to this whole process.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say the whole thing is easy, because it isn't. It's a challenge. I mean, have a look at this thing right behind us here. There's a lot to it. It's very complex, but Darren has a way of giving it you, drip feeding it to you, and he's got great online training that I've done myself as well. And what a phenomenal opportunity to actually stop and take the time in your week to do an online live webinar, and then go ahead and do your online modules in your own time. And it is doable with a full-time job, because you can stop and start when you want.
Yeah.
So all of that was amazing, and that's what I did. I did 6 months of Darren's online training, and what a beautiful community that we grew as a result of this online training. And we had great fun with the actual Facebook pages and connecting with people, and it was very easy to do that, and it was fun. And I can't recommend it enough, actually. And then here I am today, just doing my celebration here with Mark, and here we are at the other end of the journey. And I've learnt so much about myself, and I've learnt so much about the nature of reality, and the nature of our physical bodies, and the nature of how our symptoms speak to us through that, and just the tools and strategies to deal with emotions that you couldn't even begin to perceive unless you've had a glimpse into the life of Darren Weissman and had a glimpse into what he teaches. So my advice, if you're listening to this or watching this, is go for it, because you're worth it.
So
Give it
awesome.
love and gratitude.
Well, you're amazing.